And I'm going to cast Scorching Ray.
Okay. Dumb question, but that is fire damage, correct?
That is fire damage.
Okay.
What am I aiming for?
17.
Wow, I miss all of them.
And you launch these
Wow.
scorching rays from out of your ring, and they all go wide. This dragon is a much more difficult target than you were expecting.
Alright, and then I back the fuck up.
Probably a good idea.
To behind this rock.
Khalil, you gain 12 hit points.
Great. Just
Yes.
enough for me to, get killed again. It'll be great.
Fred, you're such a negative person. My goodness.
I know. Because, hey,
And after
he's got
that-
a level 3 PC. What are we going to do? Throw a dragon at him. That'll be funny.
It's a dragon wormling. My goodness, he's salty even when we're playing D&D. Chat,
I
let's
know,
see the PJ Salt.
PJ Salt!
The dragon rears up and looks at you, Khalil.
While I'm still laying down.
No, you're healed. Fred healed you on his turn. You got back, or you're laying prone, but you're conscious and you can see this dragon.
Yeah.
And he regards you, and you see anger in his eyes. But he does not make a move towards you. He does not do anything, and now it's Zook's turn.
You know what? I'm not going to sit here and wait for Fred to heal me. I'm actually going to drain a potion, I think.
Okay.
Because I've got 2 potions of healing on me. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So, what's the potion of healing again?
2d4 plus 2.
2d4 plus 2?
Yes, sir.
Alright, let's grab another d4.
There you go. 7 points back.
Alright. I get 7 points back, and then I'm gonna stay in this position in hiding. By the way, I know I rolled hiding earlier.
If you're on that square, there's nowhere to hide.
I can't tuck into this little door. There's not like a doorway to tuck into.
I mean, you can, but you're not hidden there. I mean, it would be super
Okay.
easy. Anybody who can see that doorway can see you.
I don't think that dragon. I'm just hanging out here around
Okay.
the corner. And then I need to add 7 points.
Khalil, the
What's
dragon
up?
is watching you, but he's not moving towards you. And he doesn't seem to
Okay.
regard you as a great threat.
You gonna take that, Khalil?
He's charging his laser.
You can see
Yeah,
the dragon is breathing very heavily. He's got this arrow buried in his neck.
You gotta deal with this dragon eventually, Khalil.
I'm sorry, but I'm not dealing with it. We could just easily just poke his head down here and just laser the shit out of me. I'm ducking back behind the corner, and I'm gonna chug my last potion
Chug a
here.
potion. Alright, 2d4 plus 2. Eldove, go piss it off again. I dare you.
Go poke the dragon some more. We got this nice long corridor to fling things down.
Yeah, it's another 8 hit points. I'm back up to 20. That 20 hit points that I had before are now returned.
Oh my goodness,
Congratulations.
calm down.
I know.
You have
I'm
more
just-
hits
Eldove.
than me right now, so.
Just a babby. I'm gonna go poke the dragon.
gonna go poke the dragon.
Put yourself on the
1,
square you're
2.
occupying.
1, 2, 3.
And this dragon, and it sees you, and its head snaps up. And it looks very mad at you. But you have the action.
Alright, can I give it the middle finger as a free action?
No.
I firebolt it.
Alright.
Which we had a.
18.
That hits.
See, Khalil was going to try to talk to this fucker, but no, he was just gonna start shooting blasts at it.
No,
Khalil
yeah,
does not speak Draconic.
9
I
fire
know.
damage.
And you blast it with a firebolt. And you hit it on the side of its face, and the firebolt continues down the neck, snapping this arrow off. And you see it's left scorch marks all down it, which you take to mean this is a very young dragon indeed. Like, its scales have not completely hardened yet. And you hear it growl a little bit, and it just moves away back into the room. Zook.
He's all the way in the room now. He can't see anything down here.
Do not have line of sight, and neither does the dragon from that position.
All right.
But you saw it move. Well, you didn't see it move anywhere. You don't know where it is.
I'm gonna do something silly.
Okay.
I'm gonna move. I'm gonna dash, and I'm gonna hide in this hole.
Done.
Is that a thing I can do?
That is definitely a place you can hide.
Yeah. Okay. Because no one's gonna melee this guy, so I gotta manufacture a sneak attack
No,
somehow.
this is the way. This is the way to do it if you're gonna do it.
I rolled a 1.
Okay.
Right.
So, and it also gets +4 to perception rolls, so it probably wasn't gonna work in the first place. But you know, you tried.
Hey, I had to try. Now I'm in the room that the dragon may step into.
Khalil, you do have to deal with this dragon eventually. That is true, but you could always go back to town and enlist the help of more soldiers. You could always go back and hire a mercenary company out here to destroy this thing. You don't have to deal with it right now.
Indeed.
Although, if you do deal with it right now, your share of the treasure is considerably larger.
This is also true. Oh, man.
On the other hand, those lightning blasts really fucking hurt.
Yeah, no kidding. That 30 that I took was, all but 4 of my hit points.
Oh, I know it.
That I have forever.
On the other hand, though, Fred is still here.
He is, but he's
He
low
still
on
got some
spell
more
charges.
heals.
He's running out on healing. He can't keep this shit up forever.
Khalil, what's the haps?
What's the haps? Hang on, let me delete that potion of healing that I didn't
That's what
actually
I was just
delete.
doing too. I got 1 potion of healing left.
Alright, so potion of healing is now deleted.
Huh?
This is a tricky one. I don't know.
Charge the dragon.
5, 10, 15, 20,
No.
25, 30.
I'm gonna let you guys in on just a little secret as I'm DMing, because I think it's fair that you know this. Monsters can ready actions just as well as you can. So, even though you can't see him, the dragon does get a melee attack and he can ready an action. So if you poke your head through the door, the dragon may well hit you before you have a chance to do anything. So, charge the dragon, probably not the best advice.
Yeah, I'm going 30. I'm going to sit over here.
The funniest device, though, right?
It's pretty funny, yeah. Eldove.
I cast Acid Bolt. Here.
Acid Splash, you mean?
Yeah.
Alright, let's see it.
Sploosh.
No, you have to...
Oh, that's right.
Dex save.
And fails. He's really good at failing this dex save. I guess dragon wormlings are really clumsy.
6 damage.
6 damage. Nice. And again, you hear the hissing, and this time you hear like a sound of pain, like a grunt. Like this time you think you've hit something vital with that acid splash. Fred busts out his fucking lute and starts strumming, and Eldove, he gives you a bardic inspiration die. So that is a d6 that you can add to any attack, save, or ability check.
Alright.
And Zook.
I'm gonna try my hand at hiding in this hole again.
You can't. As far as you know, you're hidden.
As far as I know, I'm hidden, but
Yep.
I'm not hidden.
That doesn't matter. You don't know that you're not hidden. That's the whole point of the hide check.
Damn
Yeah.
it. Okay.
You rolled
so
it
I
and
think
failed
I'm
it. You
hidden
don't
in
get to
the
re-roll
hole.
it. You think nobody can see you. You think you've ducked in this hole. If this dragon comes out, it won't be able to see you.
Hold on. I have an idea.
The idea is you have to make a hide check, and then it gets to make a perception check. So if it comes out of the hole, or if it comes out of the room, it gets to roll its perception to see you, and it's only got to beat a 1. Well, it's got to beat like a 6, probably.
It's what is it? It's
It's
my
gotta-
dex
it's-
doubled.
Oh, is it doubled? Then it's got to beat a 13. Because that's 6 plus 6 is 12, plus the one you rolled is 13.
It
So-
might very
Actually
well
not bad.
fail.
It might.
Yeah.
Like, a 1 is not great. But it gets +4 to its perception roll, because it's a dragon. So hide is not a pass-fail thing. Hide is a your roll versus whoever's trying to find you roll.
Can I fling minor illusion around a corner, or does it have to be line of sight?
What's the rule say?
What I'm looking for.
Yeah, it might have to be line of sight. What's your idea, though? If it's cool enough, I'll just let you have it.
I was gonna fling an image of Eldove around the corner to see if it had a ready to action for him.
What square do you
is
want
a good
Eldove to
idea.
appear on?
right next to his ass, like he was charging him.
Like right in the doorway? Or actually in the room?
Right here.
I'm going to say you can't see in the room, but you have line of sight to the doorway here. If you want to stay hidden.
What's the name of the spell, by the way? I can look it up while we're...
It's Minor Illusion. I just can create an illusion.
I don't think Minor Illusion is powerful enough to create the visions of a person, though. I think it's like
that's true.
A small noise or a color or something like that.
Small object, muddy footprints, chest, chair, so I can't create a...
You can't create an Eldove.
No, it says no larger than a 5-foot cube. That is big enough for a person. Really.
That is big enough for a person. We all know Eldove is 5 foot and cube shaped.
Yeah.
So, alright, I like this idea. Yeah, you can go ahead. You got line of sight to that doorway. You can absolutely make an Eldove. Eldove would fit inside a 5-foot cube.
Yeah, I'm mostly just trying to see if I can lure this guy out. So I create a minor illusion right in the doorway of Eldove giving him the finger.
Oh my goodness. And no sooner than you do you see the dragon's head lash out into the doorway with a bite. And it catches nothing. And it's confused for a second, but it pulls back out of your line of sight.
That was fun.
That was its ready to action. It can't take 2 ready to actions. So Khalil, that was an excellent use of minor illusion. Good job.
I haven't used it yet.
Oh man,
that's what it's for, though. That's what those kind of utility spells are for.
Yeah, no, and then I've been meaning to try and use them more.
There you go, man.
That was a good use.
It was. That was excellent.
Very good use. So now that it's drawn his attack, time for Khalil to go in and
now it drew its ready action, but it gets another attack after Eldove goes. Let's be clear.
That is true. Yeah.
But yeah, but I know I'm high in the turn order, so that's why it's a good place for me to use it too.
It's pretty injured.
It's hurting. Right. You guys have dealt quite a lot of damage to it.
All right, here we go. All right, let me just look at my combat superiority maneuvers here.
Okay. But you wish you took parry now, don't you?
Oh, totally.
Yeah, and all it says is my range is 30 feet.
Just think about all the high fives we're going to get to do, though, after we take out this wormling. You're going to really impress your boss.
I guess.
Oh, you would get a huge bonus if you bring back evidence that you slayed a blue dragon. Even a wormling like this.
We're going to slay it and then bring it back and sell its frickin' scales.
20 to hit.
You got a 20?
Yep.
That definitely hits.
Not a nat 20, but a 20.
No, yeah, you hit.
Modified 20. Alright, superiority die. Menacing attack.
What does this one do exactly? I forget. I've read all these recently, but I forget.
Add superiority die to the attack damage roll, and the target must make a wisdom saving throw on a failed save. It is frightened until the end of my next turn.
Nice. And
so D8
fails that wisdom save.
Even on a what's my wisdom? Is it 11?
No, it makes wisdom save against its score. It has to make the wisdom save, and his wisdom is plus 0.
My DC was an 11.
Yeah, and he rolled a 3. So what do you want? You want to argue about whether or not he failed his wisdom save?
All right, so 3 damage plus 3 is 6 plus Jesus another.
All the 20s I rolled tonight, you would think he would just accept the one time I roll badly.
Okay, so 11 damage total, including superiority damage.
And you get your longsword, and you just start cleaving at this thing. And its scales are hard, but they're not rock solid. This is a very young dragon, and you're drawing blood back. You get a couple of really good attacks in at his neck and at his face.
And he is frightened until the end of next turn.
And he is frightened until your next turn. Eldove!
What are the rules on frightened?
The rule is, as long as the object of your fear is in line of sight, you can't take any actions but to move away from it, essentially. So on the dragon's next turn, he'll have to disengage and run from Khalil. He won't have any other option.
Alright.
I like this. I like this a lot. I'm down to my last superiority die, but it's fantastic.
That's why those dice exist, though, so you can do cool shit like this.
I know, it's amazing.
When do you get your action surge?
My action surge, I get that.
Yeah, you already have that. You can totally take. You already have that, and you've got second wind. You haven't even used your own healing ability yet, Mister. I've been down to 0 6 times.
I totally forgot about second wind. I totally forgot that was a thing I could do.
Guys, I just want everybody in the game and chat. as much bitching and salt as McDohl has done tonight, I'm at 0. He has a healing ability he can use at any time as a bonus action. Regain a D10 plus 3 hit points whenever he wants, and it recovers at his short rests. So,
oh my god.
That's in addition to his action surge, which basically just gives him a bonus, not a bonus action, an extra normal action anytime during the combat. Fighters are great. He's just ignoring half of his class abilities.
I know, it's pretty...
so,
make fun of me. I'm stupid.
You're a dumb. Eldove, what are you gonna do, bro?
The only thing I can basically do is Acid Splash right there.
Okay. We'll just say it doesn't damage any of the treasure. I won't be an asshole about it.
Don't be a dick about this, man.
No. If you beat this dragon, you deserve to get the treasure.
It has to roll.
Oh, that's right. And it fails that roll.
4 damage.
And you're throwing these blob... Every time somebody casts Acid Splash, I'm thinking of Toxic Seahorse in Mega Man X, how he throws those like blobs of acid and they explode into smaller blobs. That's what I'm picturing in my head.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
And that's exactly what Eldove does. And I'm also assuming the Acid Splashes don't come from your ring, because they're not fire, am I right? Like
that is absolutely correct.
Form them out and then throw them. And Khalil, from where you're standing, you see this bubble of acid explode in the air near this dragon. And you see where it splatters against its scales. It's eating into the scales and getting to the raw flesh underneath.
Ooh, that looks like a good place to hack it at.
It's going to disengage from Khalil.
Of course it is.
Of course it is. I mean, it still gets to disengage.
I know.
And it disappears it disappears up into its burrow.
Gonna wait for that shit to recharge.
No, is the tunnel, like, if we were to stand here, would we be able to see it?
You would have line of sight onto it, yeah, but you'd have to be standing in this square, because the tunnel kind of goes up and away from you. It doesn't go straight through the wall.
Can it turn around while in the tunnel?
Yes.
Does it look like it's a...
Okay. Yeah, the tunnel is big enough that it can turn around and maneuver. Because the dragon's about the size of a large dog, like, picture like a Saint Bernard, but it doesn't take up all that space, because most of it is like gangly wings in its neck. So it's very maneuverable in this tight space. But it's cut its losses at this point. It is retreating from Khalil as quickly as possible. And Zook, you can turn, brother.
Man, I didn't get to sneak out of my hole or nothing.
You get that great illusion thing, though. That was awesome.
Zook, go shoot it. We can't let it escape. It's a menace to society.
5, 10, 15, 20, 20. I can get here, but I have to be actually on the hole with the square.
On that square to shoot up and into the hole. Otherwise, you're shooting around a corner and you don't have line of sight.
I guess the question is, can he get around from here to here in 5 feet?
In 5 feet?
On. 5, 10, 15.
Yeah, is that one
20,
space?
Oh, no, that's 25. That's 25 to get right here.
You can move diagonally as 5 foot, yeah.
25. Okay. So, well, yeah, I'm going to come up here.
Okay. And you can see it, and it hasn't made it all the way to the end of its burrow yet, but you can see it is fleeing away from you.
Does fleeing away from me mean that... Does it have its back to me? Do I have advantage on this attack?
You do not, no.
Oh,
sorry.
Damn it. It's all right.
Unless you have some way to give yourself advantage.
I really don't at this point.
Or you could lucky die.
So,
or you had a lucky dice.
Lucky die doesn't count as advantage, though.
Oh.
Lucky die lets you reroll. It doesn't specifically say it gives you advantage, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
It's just a reroll, and I can use as many in a row as I want. But that missed. So I'm going to disengage and back out of the room, basically.
Okay. And I mean, you get your short bow and you launch an arrow up there and you connect, but you connect on one of the harder looking scales that come off its tail, and it kind of your arrow just shatters against it. Khalil.
All right.
He has no ranged attacks, does he?
He's got a bow. He's got a bow slung over his shoulder, but he's going to actually step off in this direction. And second win.
Now,
your
second win.
Yeah. Forgot about?
Again, you could do that as a bonus action. You can do that in the same round where you attack.
So you could second win and bow him.
Yes.
Yeah, but then I would have to stay standing there down.
On your turn, I will move you out of the way.
Okay.
On my turn, rather.
All right, then that's what I'll do then.
Bow him.
Here.
No, you're not standing in the wall. You're standing here.
Yeah.
You're looking up into the hole. Basically, it's kind of above your head.
All right, bow him plus, I believe, 3 on that hit.
That'll hit.
That'll do it.
Yeah, 4 on that hit. I'm sorry.
4 damage.
D8 of 4. And then bonus action, heal it up.
Now, do you have a mod that you add to that damage, or is your dex too low?
Yeah, dex is too low.
No, you got +2 to your dex modifier, bro.
Oh yeah. Okay, so
That's a 6 hit.
Your longbow does 4 that D8 +2 because of your.
and then I gained 4 hit points because I rolled minimum hit points on my healing surge.
Yeah, go ahead and give yourself your hit points. And I will knock 6 damage off of this dragon. Eldove.
This is like
God.
Monster Hunter. I want to know how much health he has.
He's definitely
Alright,
bloody. He is hurting quite a bit.
I stand right here and leave Khalil to his fate. No, I move forward.
Thanks.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 left. I move Khalil out of the way.
Yep. That's fine. And yeah, you've got line of sight on it, but it is. It looks as though it's going to continue burrowing. It looks like you've got it, and it's really trying to flee from you. It's abandoning its hold, and it's on its way out.
Firebolt.
All right. 15. That will.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
That's gonna hit. Yeah, you're aiming for 17. So go ahead and roll the damage on that.
All right. That's 6 fire damage.
6 fire damage, and this time you blast it in the tail, and one of it's got like these hard scales kind of poking up like blades along the edges of its tail, and you snap one of them, and you hear it wail in pain, and it turns a corner and continues burrowing, but it's now out of your sight. You no longer have line of sight unless you go up into the hole.
Can we go up into the hole?
You absolutely can. You can climb up there. I'll count it as difficult terrain, but it can only burrow 15 feet and around. It's kind of burrowing up and away from you. And it's kind of turned a corner specifically so you guys would stop throwing things at its butt. So you can still see its tail flicking back and forth, but it's not a very good target.
How many more illusions can you use?
Back in a
Me?
second.
It's a cantrip.
Okay,
I can just keep you doing it.
Zook, it is your turn, my friend. Zook would easily fit up in this hole.
So it's not difficult terrain for him?
No, he's a little guy.
Well, I can get to the front of this, and then how far into the hole would I have to go to be able to have a shot at him?
You'd have to walk 15 feet forward, and you'd literally be standing right next to him.
Okay. Fuck it. Let's do it.
Okay.
So that's me taking part
Eldove
of my.
Gives you a leg up into the hole, and you run up, and it's rough. He's just hewing his way through it with his claws, and when you get to him, you see he's making headway in the sandstone away from you, and it looks shocked when it looks back. You see him taking it back a little bit that you're actually chasing him. So
Did his hide work?
No. There's nowhere to hide in this little hole, no. But you may go ahead and do your attack.
Oh, this
And,
is.
and you're,
Zook
and you're
climbed
still
up.
not going to give me advantage even though I'm stabbing him in the butt with my rapier.
That's right. You do not have advantage on him.
I want that sneak attack at all times.
That should probably hit, though.
No, that'll hit.
All right.
But it's just one. Crap, I forgot what my rapier is. It's D8.
All right.
D8 plus what?
Plus his dex
Plus
mod.
3.
So,
Because it's a finesse weapon.
yeah.
That's a 9.
That's a 9.
Or that's 9 damage total.
And you see the look of shock on this thing's face, Zook. And you don't screw this bow, and you pull out this rapier, and you jab, and you get him in the eye socket. And you feel your sword bend downward with the curvature of its skull, and you feel the blade go into the meat of its brain, and it spasms for a few seconds, and then just slumps down into the tunnel.
Yeah!
Well done.
No evil dragons allowed.
See, McDohl, this was a level appropriate encounter as long as you guys fought intelligently. See?
Well, we didn't want any part of this fight at first, so that's why we kind of were like, nope.
Wait. Back up a second there. Who are you including in we?
Everyone, not you.
So, Zook,
Okay,
you put your blade through this thing's eye socket and into its brain, and you pull it out clean, and its muscles are spasming a little bit, but it's definitely done. You've definitely finished this thing off.
All right. We're out of combat.
Yes, no more combat.
Will it fit in a pack?
No. It would... I mean, you could carve parts of it off as trophies, but to recover the entire carcass, you would have to drag it out by the tail. It's not so heavy that the four of you couldn't do it, but...
All right. Well, I come back out and I say...
Well, I'm thinking it's probably pretty valuable.
So let me read off the treasures, because I know, Eldove, you want to be in charge of the treasure sheet for the moment?
Yeah.
Okay. The coinage you find here. You find 2,700 copper. You
That's
find
a lot of copper.
1,000 pieces of silver. And
Right.
you find 80 pieces of gold.
Okay.
You find 9 rather large and nice-looking sapphires. Each is worth 10 gold pieces.
Okay.
You find 2 potions. Well, one is a potion. One looks much thicker. It looks more like cooking oil. That you are not able to identify just by looking.
Not the other potion either.
The third potion you know is a potion of superior healing. You've dealt with these before. And the last item in the hoard are 2 small stones. They look like the kind of stones you would skip across the lake. They're small white stones. They look like oversized sesame seeds.
All right.
While he's taking count of that, I'm going to be going up there and I'm going to be taking some kind of trophy from this thing because, like you said,
I mean, there's really not room to carve up this blue dragon in the tunnel, but you could easily drag his carcass back out. Also,
that's what.
Blah, there you go.
Would it be a sufficient trophy to grab a scale off of it?
Its scales are very small, actually. Like, you're not going to be able to get a sizable scale. I mean, blue dragons have horns, though, and that would be a great trophy.
I would like to make a check.
For what?
Sorry.
I would like to know if any part of this dragon is valuable.
I mean, dragon scales, even if only as a novelty, would be valuable. But make an Arcana 10, Eldove.
I fail.
You fail. You know that parts of dragons have value, but that's all you know.
All right. Well, it's like the size of a small dog, right? How heavy is it?
It's pretty heavy. Like, you couldn't lift a Saint Bernard, but the 4 of you could drag a carcass back to town if you really wanted to. I mean, it's not so heavy that you couldn't move it out of here, and it's not so large that you can't fit it through the doorways. This thing could come through a doorway if it wanted to.
Let's leave it here for now. If we don't have anything heavy to carry back to town, let's bring it with us.
Fred pokes his head in the doorway over here. Says, "You all slay a dragon."
Yeah, we slayed a dragon. Thanks for the heals, by the way.
I'm writing a song about that. And he gets to work with ink and parchment.
And I run over and I say, when you write the song, be sure to include that I dealt the killing blow.
Says, "Zook!" And he throws his arms out. He says, "Zook, Dragon Slayer, Zook of the forests. Zook of the lightning quick bow. Zook whose eyes match the eagles." He is very impressed that you dealt the killing blow.
I am I am okay with Zook taking credit for stealing killing blow, as long as it's written into the song that I scared the fucking dragon into its hole with my draconic presence.
Well, mechanically, the way this dragon worked, I'll actually explain it after the session. We still have more dungeon to go here.
Yeah, we still got cards that may have other things to
All right, so yeah, you guys, it's not a large dragon horde by any measure, but it's fairly sizable considering this dragon was just getting started.
Yeah.
All right, so do we want to go to the next door? Do we want to take a rest?
Door number 2.
Wait, why don't we just take a short rest? Let's get our heals up.
Absolutely can.
Khalil has already burned all of his hit dice for the.
Adric is very much out of short rests.
Yeah.
So yeah, a short rest is absolutely in order if you all want to take a short rest.
On the other hand, after you get a short rest, you'll be able to use your second wind again.
Yes, you will.
If you just want to burn that. You can just burn that out of combat.
All right, so that's 7 more. That brings me up to
max hips.
Nice.
6, and I'm going to actually use 1 more.
Do we get the dice again from?
Yes, you do.
Shoot, and that's only 4 more, so that brings me up to 30.
I didn't note that Song of Rest recharges on a long rest, so I think it just happens during a short rest. Like, he can always do it on a short rest. It's just a nice thing he does for you guys.
Actually, no. It says that it recharges on a short rest, so I don't think I get that. I don't get full hips. I just get the second wind back, and I don't want to burn it unless I absolutely need to.
And that's
does he get the 6 die? Like, does he get the 6 hit points even though he's not spending a hit die?
No, he does not. You have to spend a hit die to get the effect.
Okay.
I was coming real close when that dragon was being a butthole to using my new chain whip thing to drag him out of there, but
that would have been hilarious. Well, that would have been very effective because it was not going to leave the room unless it absolutely had to. Like, the whole fight, it's weighing its odds. Like, can I take these guys or do I have to retreat? But we got 2 more doors here.
I don't know, man. That dragon hiding in that room, it didn't attack us like 5 times or something ridiculous.
It just regarded you.
And it helped a lot.
So,
two of us had intimidate abilities too, which is pretty hilarious.
2 doors here. This door you were not able to open because one of the levers would not move downward. This one, the door is still... Oh, we still got the levers over here. Up, down, down, right here.
All right.
Let me... was it just because the guy wasn't strong enough, or is it just because the thing is jammed?
You're not sure. You haven't tried it yet.
I say we don't touch that lever yet, just because we might break it. Let's try it with the one that we're not sure about.
Yeah, we don't know for a fact that all down is always the right way, but it seems like it, so...
Yeah.
Is Eldove throwing this last lever?
Yeah.
And... Again, you hear the loud grinding of stone, the crashes, and it opens up into a hallway that immediately turns to the right.
And that's on 3 down. Okay,
that's
so we'll
down.
force that one last.
And you step into the hallway.
There?
Yep.
You see all the way down. You see the hallway turn off to the left. And this, why is this door open?
Busted ass door again?
Yeah, it's broken. It's just broken outward. So you just see rubble where this door would have been.
In this square rubble, like somebody came burst through that way.
I mean, there's rubble on both sides of it. It's hard to say. It's been laying here for X amount of hundreds of years. There's really no way to know. Oh, I'm sorry. I can get rid of this one too. I think there's a doorway
here. Hey, boss. Got a question for you. Oh wait, don't go away. Do you want me to scout?
Go.
Okay, I'm gonna scout.
Where do you
go? This is a door. This is a door that's shut.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna ignore that for now, and I'm gonna look down this hallway.
Look down the hallway.
This hallway.
The hallway goes all the way end, and at the dead end, there's a door on the far left wall.
There's a door here.
Yes, it's just under.
And it's closed.
It was kind of weird laying the cards out, so I got to do a better job of that next time.
All right, so I'm gonna step into this room sneakily, as sneakily as possible.
Okay.
Sneakily.
Just put yourself on the square there. You have to step into the room to see because you got to look around the corner.
Okay.
Wow, stay in the lines, Brick Road. Jesus Christ. So you look at room number 13. And the sandstone block serving as the door of this chamber, like I said, has been violently blown aside. There's rubble just filling the square and the squares next to it. You have to climb over it in order to get into this next room. And inside is a ghastly sight. You looked at the northern half of the room, where I've colored up there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's dominated by wickedly sharp, densely packed bronze spikes that are bladed on the sides, poking up out of the ground. You see, like I said earlier, when you look down from above, you see impaled skeletons on several of these spikes. The floor at the base of the spikes is littered with broken bones, rotted cloth, rubbish like this. Now, the floor itself of the room slopes noticeably to the south. So it's on an incline, and you can see narrow, conduits in the floor that have been chiseled and inlaid with bronze to act as kind of tubing. And there's a lot of these conduits here, right at the edge of the spikes, and they kind of merge together to there's 5 large ones that empty out into a very, very wide tunnel right here, and then empty into a tiny hole in this corner. And all of these are darkly stained as though blood ran through them at one point.
Okay.
All right, so the floor is sloped.
There's more.
Okay.
On this side of the wall is a large stone wheel with a handle sticking out of the wall. And now we're done.
All right, so it's sloped in this direction?
Yes, sir.
I see no hostiles in here.
You do not see any hostiles, no.
What's that white on the floor there?
Spikes. Khalil, do you have a torch or some other?
No, this
Oh,
white.
this is a wide bronze tube that the smaller tubes all empty into, and this one is sloped away in this direction and empties into a small hole in the floor down in the corner.
All right, yeah, I got a torch.
All right,
now.
well, I let them
Okay.
know that the coast is clear if they want to come investigate this room.
Okay.
I kind of peek my head around the corner, and I see the wheel and all that, and I
Yep.
say, "Do you want me to turn that wheel with my mage hand?"
Are you asking Khalil
I'm
that?
asking the group.
I'm okay with that idea.
No argument against it.
How much strength does a mage have hand? Mage hand.
Doesn't have
not-
much.
It's not very much. It's
Yeah.
10 pounds.
Yeah. So yeah. What do you do with the mage hand? What's the dilly, yo?
I turn the wheel to the right.
You do not. You do not have enough force with the mage hand to do anything.
I attempt to turn the wheel to the left.
You need more than 10 pounds of force to do anything with the wheel.
Okay.
Let's just go ahead and... Oops, where am I at? I'm just going to go ahead and come in here at this point, because it seems like we're going to investigate this wheel.
Okay. Looking at the spikes, you see they're very closely packed together. You could probably get up there and move through them as long as you move very slowly and very carefully.
So does it look like... Okay, so what about the ceiling? Is it just like the ceiling above, or
There
it
is
like
not.
whole...
This opens up into the pit you guys looked at earlier. And in fact, you can
Oh.
see the two large stone slabs. Like you see the
Oh,
scrapes
that's
along the
split open.
walls. And the two large stone
Ah.
slabs are laying flat against this wall and this wall.
Yeah. I
Okay,
figured
so what I'm thinking is that wheel is going to make those
Reset the
slabs
trap?
move.
you
Yeah,
set the trap.
that's what I'm thinking as well.
Could be fun. I don't know why we need to reset it. Do you want to give it a whirl here, big man?
I suppose I could turn it a little bit.
All right, roll just a
And
yeah, just a straight up strength check.
+3 is
Oh, jeez.
23.
23. You put
That's
everything you have into it. Everything you have into turning this wheel, and it just does not budge.
Oh wow.
Huh. It must be busted then.
On neither way. Okay.
Either
Well,
direction.
Good use of a 20.
I don't know, man.
you said
but
that-
the way
no.
Brickroad's been throwing those out, those don't get used up.
So, just... I'm gonna, actually, because you mentioned it, it makes me wonder, you said that there's room to sort of navigate through the spikes.
It would be difficult. You need to make a dex save as you move through them.
Sure, why not?
Actually, I'm going to say you can make it... I'll lower the difficulty for you. Dex save DC 10 to move through the spikes without getting slashed by them.
That'd be an 11, I think, for me.
Did you get 11? Did you roll this 5
I,
here?
I rolled a 5.
Yeah, he rolled that 5.
Yeah, that's 11. So, and you get up in between the spikes. Now make me an investigation check. DC
How do you have a
12.
+6 dex?
He's proficient
Don't I
with
get
it.
I'm
Oh, proficient in dex saves.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is a save, right? To
Yeah,
not
that
get
was
hurt?
that was a dex save to not get hurt.
Ooh. And I just farted all over that.
And you get up here, and I mean, you've moved one space in, and you see people, a variety of skeletons impaled back here, but you'd have to get much closer to actually be able to investigate them closer. From here, you can't make out any details of what's going on.
Get closer.
Well, I do, though. I mean, looking at this, I would probably just see looking at these trails of blood that are collecting down here at the end, and then down into this little reservoir down here. Is it a reservoir?
It's
or
not a
is it some
reservoir.
kind of
It goes into a hole in the wall and drains away somewhere. You have no idea where it goes.
Is it dried blood?
It's not even. Well, it's just stained at this point. I mean, it's been so long ago that there's barely any residue left.
Yeah.
All right,
I mean,
I'm gonna
looking
throw
at the
a dex
shape
save.
of the room, it's pretty clear what it was used for.
All right, that'll be a 12, so I can move a little further in and try to investigate again.
Yeah, go ahead. Same DC for the investigation.
Already forgot what it was.
That'll do it. 15
That'll
will
be
do
it.
it.
Okay.
You're getting close to these skeletons, and you see one of them is wearing a tarnished chain around its neck. and it's hanging from the bones from the neck bones as though there's weight on the end, but you don't see the chains connected to anything.
No, I mean, I'm definitely interested in treasure from dead explorers, so let's grab that chain.
You take it. And when you reach up and to grab for the chain, at the point where it looks like the chain connects to something that there would be weight, you feel metal. And you can hold it in your hand, and it feels bumpy and rigid. And you can easily take the chain off of the skeleton, and you're going to need a dex save to get back out safely.
All right.
That'll do it.
Okay.
So
let me get all the way out.
Zook slides out back between these bronze sabers poking up out of the floor. And he's holding in his hand what looks just to be like a tarnished chain.
What'd you find, Zook?
Found a chain.
Alright, well...
what kind of chain? Like a necklace kind of a thing, or...
What he's holding in his hand is just a length of chain that you would hold the necklace on, but nothing's attached to it.
Okay.
I guess we can get the captain to investigate it when we get back.
What is it with Zook and chains this session, Zook? I think you might be obsessed.
I was thinking there might be something valuable on the other end of it, which is the main reason I went in there. So, but who knows what it's good for? But anyways, it's just like a chain, like a gold chain, or not even that.
No, it's not even.
Zook, are you going to give it to me to throw it with the rest of the party treasure?
Sure, I give you the chain for this for now.
All right.
And when you hand an Eldove, as soon as he hands you the chain, you know there's something there. There's an invisible hunk of metal that the chain is attached to.
That's interesting.
It is.
But there's something.
It's got some heft to it as well.
So we can get this investigated by the magic school later.
You could.
Yeah.
You could easily hire somebody to identify that.
All right.
I would say I'm going to open this door right here. If anyone else had any objections.
Okay.
Nah.
Open the door, and I got to spawn something in here. If you'll please bear with me one moment.
Another dragon.
There's six dragons in this dungeon. No, there's not.
Awesome. 6
They're
dragons.
standing on top of each other like a dragon.
Oh my god, my playlist just went to Final Fantasy IV Run.
Two features dominate this chamber. First, you see small holes in the floor, maybe like a ½ inch in diameter, spaced kind of evenly across the stone floor. Hundreds and hundreds of these little holes. And second, in the floor in between the holes is coated in what looks to be the remains of desiccated insect shells. And they crunch under your feet. Now, in the center of the room where I spawned this in, this is actually a bronze basin that comes up out of the floor, and it's attached to a length of tube.
Length of tube going down, or
yeah, going directly down into the floor, like a length of pipe, like a bronze pipe with a basin at the top of it.
Can I follow the pipe?
I mean, the pipe goes down into the floor.
Okay.
Like down into the sandstone floor. Just it looks like it's just supporting this basin. And yeah.
Judging by what I've seen before, we've got this drain down here, and then now this one over here.
Yes.
There's probably more structures beneath this place too.
Almost for a certainty, yes. None that you can reach now that you've been around the place, but if you had brought this information back, somebody in Kiska might be interested in bringing an excavation team out.
If anything, it might keep bandits out if there's, people with guards and mercenaries and stuff hanging around here.
Very true.
Well, you knew there's something to do with the necromancer potentially in this area, and now there seems to be blood draining, so all fun stuff.
That seems fine.
Is there anything else in this room to speak of besides this structure?
All you can see is this basin in the center of the room, and the holes in the floor, and then the place is carpeted with husks of some kind of insect that have been laying there for God knows how long.
If I take a closer look at the basin, can I kind of tell what's been going through it?
You cannot. Not without standing on the square of the basin. Not from there you can't, anyway. Not from next to the wall.
Well, okay. I mean, I can't get on the square, but yes.
Yeah, I hear you. As soon as you step next to the basin, you feel the floor under your feet. Eldove, put yourself outside the room. Because Zook moved before you did. Okay. You feel the floor sink beneath you down about an inch, and you hear a click.
Oh shit!
The door that Khalil is right behind Khalil swings shut with a crash.
Oh, fuck.
And you start hearing chittering and clattering sounds emanating from the holes below. Eldove, from where you're standing, you hear the crash of the door, and you hear Fred shout, "Eldove, they're trapped!"
What about this door?
Open the fucking door.
Nah, we're gonna roll initiative, actually.
Oh god.
What about this door?
Well, you can check it out on your initiative.
Well, I'm just... Can I see it?
You can see it, but you can't... I mean, it wasn't open to begin with.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh boy, nat 1.
Nat 1? What's your dex? You know, it doesn't matter. You're gonna break the tie with this thing anyway, so... Zook, what'd you get?
I got 18.
18. And Eldove, what'd you get?
15. I don't like that that's just spelled horror.
Horror!
Zook! Climbing up, I mean, now that you're next to the basin, you might as well look at it, right?
Yeah.
And examining the basin, you see it's very darkly stained, similar to the tubing from the previous room, from the torture chamber you were just in. And you see in the center of the basin is an open drain that goes down the pipe in the middle of it, but you can't see into it. It's way too dark and it drains way too deeply. But upon closer inspection, the inside of the bronze rim of this basin resembles lips and teeth. Like, on the inside, like, around the rim of it looks like lips. You see inside one side of the basin looks to be fangs coming down from the top, and on the bottom of it, a forked tongue. What's your move, sir?
Oh. Against all possible logic, I think this thing looks fascinatingly, disgustingly horrible.
Shoot it.
Shoot it?
Shoot the thing.
Shoot what? Shoot a base?
Shoot the basin. Shoot the
like,
sink.
honestly, you probably could not even get an arrowhead down in the basin, even if you were to just thread it down. It's not. It's not wide enough.
You know what I'm gonna actually do? I'm going to grab a bit of ration out of my pack and just drop it right in and see if it does.
You're gonna feed the monster.
I want to see if it's what it is. What I think it is.
Okay. Zook tears off
Gnomish curiosity.
half of a dried biscuit and drops it down the drain, and you just watch it disappear in the darkness. Eldove, what's up, man?
Oh, and then I move away from it because I'm like,
put yourself wherever you want to go.
All right.
Eldove heads over here, and he attempts to open the door.
The door does not open. It is stuck fast.
What does the door look like?
Made of sandstone. With
does it have any hinges?
It does. Because it opens outward into the hallway.
I cast Acid Splash on the hinges.
Interesting. I know I actually do have rules for this. Give me a second, because this might actually work. This might actually work.
Yeah, this room is kind of Binding of Isaac.
A little bit.
I thought for sure it was gonna like chomp on the food. I probably should have specified that I threw a piece of meat in there.
Oh, well, you did not specify that. But
too bad.
You threw a piece of salted beef down, and it did not. Nothing happened.
Probably need something fresh.
I know there are rules for this kind of thing, but I don't feel like looking up in the books. So let's give it a Constitution saving throw. What is your spell save DC?
It has to save against dexterity, and it's hinges.
It's not mobile. Then
right, but I'm thinking in terms of like how much damage the acid would do to the stone. Well, how much damage does it do? Go ahead and roll damage.
1d6 acid damage.
Okay.
4 acid damage.
4 damage? Okay. And so, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and make the dex save, though, because you do have to aim at it. You might not hit the hinge dead on, but I rolled a 2, so never mind. Alright. So, you blast this acid ball, and you see it starting to eat away with the stone. You think with 2 or 3 more, you might be able to get this hinge broken. Problem is, you're not sure if that would actually open the door. It might just stick it faster. Like, because the door would then fall down into the frame. So, you might be better off going directly through the door if you're going to just eat through it. Good idea, though. I like it. Khalil. You hear horrible chittering sounds coming up from below.
Coming up from below. Does it when I step on the floor? Does it feel solid? Like
it does not, because you're stepping on a carpet of little desiccated insect shells. It feels very crunchy. It feels like you're walking on Cheetos.
On Cheetos, huh?
Yeah, it's what it feels. It feels really disgusting, actually, because you're breaking these little shells under your feet. I mean, it's not difficult terrain. You can move around on it freely, but you wouldn't want to lay down and take a nap.
I'm gonna ready my sword. I'm just gonna be ready for anything that might come up and try to eat me. And
so you do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, do nothing. Well,
I'm just looking around for just trying to
you pull your sword.
Check the other door. Okay, never mind.
You pull your sword, and before you guys see it, pouring up out of the holes in this room by the hundreds are little scarab beetles, and before you know it, they occupy every space in the room. There are a million of these little fuckers here. They're both going to attack, if you don't mind. And you feel them climbing up your boots, getting up in the bottom of your pants. You feel the little bites all over any exposed flesh you down. Zook, they're getting up to your groinal area. Not nice.
Oh, no.
Not pleasant at all.
No.
Crotchal area.
But can I stand on Khalil's shoulders? For
neither of you.
No. No.
Neither of you suffer any damage.
That's nice.
If I have to stand in this shit, so do you. But I have a torch lit.
You do. Zook.
Alright. Well, I'm going to go investigate this door right here, because I know it leads to a chamber we've been to already, so...
You run over that door, sloshing through these beetles, kicking them aside as you move, and there is a latch on this door, but you put your hands on it and it doesn't budge. Eldove, make me a Wiz 10 check, please.
You got it.
I'm gonna light a torch while I'm at it, since there's no sense in trying to hide, and it might be worth swinging around.
16.
Yeah, no problem. Eldove, you've blasted the hinge with acid splash, and it did some damage to the door, but you're not sure. You think with acid it would take you a lot longer to get through this door than you're expecting, but behind you, within one turn's movement if you dash, is a room full of tiny little miners with pickaxes.
That's true. That's a great idea. I run to glad I thought of that with that wisdom check.
That's what wisdom checks are for, man.
I run to yell to the miners, and I yell, "A door shut, and my companions are trapped."
You get as far as the doorway, looking into their room, because that staircase opened directly up into the room that they were in. And a few of them see you and regard you, and you yell, "Help! A door is stuck, and one of my friends is trapped." Actually, two of your friends is trapped. I don't know why Khalil's not your friend.
No, one of my friends is trapped.
Oh, so you don't like Zook at all, huh? And one of them approaches you and looks up and says, "Well, what of the dragon?" And that's all you get for your turn. You got to continue this on your next round.
Oh, God.
Khalil.
I'll start swinging my torch at the bugs near my feet.
Roll a hit, man.
Hopefully, I'm hopefully that the fire will spook these things and keep them away from me more than anything. That's the idea.
Oh, there's an ocean of these guys.
Nat 20.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm saying you should just keep using that torch, man.
What, D6?
Go ahead.
That's what we have been using.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
that's
5
cool.
damage.
Cut that in half. That's 2 damage, plus roll a d8 for fire.
D8 for fire. 2.
And you're swinging your torch down, clubbing at the ground. And you're taking a lot of these little beetles out. And you're squashing a ton of them, and the rest of them igniting, and you're hearing the fire crack their shells open. So you've probably killed 30 or 40 of them just in this few seconds of swinging around, but there are a million more where that came from. Now it is Horror's turn. Zook! How you doing, Zook?
Yes.
Is everything good?
Oh, it didn't... Okay.
No, it's not your turn. I'm just saying, is everything good? Just making sure.
So far.
You take 9 points of biting damage.
Do I see it coming?
You're standing in like up to your knees in beetles, yo. Yeah,
Right, so
there's
I'm taking-
nowhere to hide from it. You take 9 damage from all the little bites and scurrying, and they're getting up under your underclothes at this point, down to your boots.
I know. But do I see it coming?
Do you see it coming? I am gonna rule that cunning action does not work on this.
Okay, fair enough.
Because it's not one attack, it is millions and millions of little attacks.
Okay, no, I mean, I gotta ask. That's what it's there for.
You do have
Oh,
to ask.
Burkhardt, I since that was just an attack action that I took, I was also going to try and go toward this door.
And same story as Zook. You got there's a bronze handle, but it does not budge.
Of course it doesn't. Okay.
Zook, you do have a turn now, though.
All right, hold on. Let me check the old gear and see if I have anything that. And I'm guessing that I can tell by looking at this. There's not a lock to pick or anything like that.
You do not see anything of that nature. No, these doors do not lock, not conventionally anyway.
If these things would be vulnerable to icy cold fog.
Oh my god.
Actually, I'm gonna actually just step right over here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna hand Khalil, since I can tell he's bigger and stronger than me, I'm gonna hand him my crowbar and ask him if he can take a whack at that door.
Okay.
Khalil, he hands you a crowbar.
All right. I don't know what good it'll do, but I'll give it a shot.
So, Eldove, the little miner looks up and says, "What does the dragon?"
The dragon is slain.
And you hear murmurs. The dragon is slain. The worm is dead. 2 of these little miners swing their little pickaxes up over their shoulders. Says, "All right, we'll help you." And they follow you back down the stairs. So in the time that conversation and the running took place, you can get back to the door. And next round, you can do something about it. Khalil, you now have a crowbar, man.
I'm going to crowbar the hell out of this door. I am Gordon frickin' Freeman up in this bitch.
Okay. I mean, you can't really get any leverage to pry it because it opens outward. So, I mean, you trying to get behind a hinge and try to break the hinges off, or are you trying to
That might be the other choice.
chisel your way through, or go ahead and roll me
breaking it.
Go ahead and roll me a strength check.
+3 is
Kill dog.
No, I mean you
12.
work the crowbar at the edges all around the door, and if you had infinite time, you might be able to make something happen here. But it's going to take a lot more muscle than what you've got.
Yeah.
Now it is
roll a
Horror's
shot.
turn.
If only someone had thought to give him the gauntlets of ogre strength. If only.
Zook!
Hey man, you gotta take that up with Captain.
What? Are they attacking me again?
They attack every single square in this room. They just keep missing Khalil. You take 10 biting damage. Technically, it's piercing
Okay.
damage, but I think biting damage sounds scarier. Like, these bugs are swarming up your body now, and it's awful. Like, they're picking through your clothes, and they're up under your armor, and the
This is where
chittering...
Zook reveals, actually, I have piercing damage resistance.
The sound of the chittering is maddening. It is awful. Zook!
Yeah, I'm saying I need more time to work on this door. We got to find another solution.
Zook, it is your turn.
I know.
Horror just bit you.
I know. I know.
Horror.
I got all kinds of horrors going on in here.
It's pretty bad.
Pretty horrible.
It's horrible.